Hi, this is Jeffrey Kurt Financial Group, and today is Monday, December 9, 2024. Starting with the look at the week ahead, not much on the calendar, but what is there is very significant. So Wednesday we get the CPI number, Consumer Price Index, and Thursday is the Producer Price Index, PPI. Again, both are inflation numbers. One at the consumer level, obviously, and one at the producer level. The CPI on Wednesday is going to be the one that a lot of eyes will be on as a sign of what's going on the inflation front and where it may be heading. It looks to be again above 3%, and that's could be a problem. This will also impact a week from Wednesday on the 18th. The Federal Reserve's interest rate decision. We'll come back a little bit on the interest rate decisions, central banks in a second. So in any case, those are the big things going on this week. There are some earnings, Oracle, Adobe, Macy's in retailing, and GameStop. I'm not sure GameStop is important, but who knows? So those are the earnings that are out this week. And one thing looking back at last week, which I found interesting, was on the New York Stock Exchange, every day there were more stocks declining than advancing. So the advanced decline lines, what that refers to, was negative all 5 days last week on the New York Stock Exchange. The NASDAQ was different, so the NASDAQ has a separate advanced decline line, and that was positive a couple of days. But it's kind of interesting, the markets, S&P going up stronger, record highs, and last week we had that a negative advanced decline line for the week in each of the days, which I find interesting, and I think it bears watching. Maybe a signal of a top. Not going to predict that, because I do think there's still room for this to rally into the end of the year. And looking at our Santa Claus rally index that we started, I guess, a couple of videos ago, right now the S&P 500 is up a little less than 1% from the for the month of December, and the Russell's actually down a little over 1%. And today in the morning, stocks rolled over, although the Russell, the small caps, are outperforming up a little bit, while the NASDAQ and the S&P are down. Cryptocurrencies are still doing strong. I think that's a thing to keep an eye on in terms of asset liquidity and risk appetites and like that. And I'll end up on this, that in the past 3 months, there have been 62 global central bank rate cuts. Again, 3 months, 62 rate cuts globally by central banks. That's an amazing statistic, I think. So looking at the Fed next week, from what I'm reading, looks like there might be a pretty good chance of a 25 basis point cut. But if that happens, more than what I'm reading now, that might be it. And all those rate cuts that were expected in 2025 might not be in the cards. So, we'll see. I'll report back on it, but I wanted to, I think that the consensus is kind of mixed for the 18th on that interest rate decision. But, maybe a cut of 25 basis points. And then, the January meeting, probably nothing. Then there's a March meeting and like that. So I'll report back. But thank you for listening, and we'll be back on Wednesday. Goodbye.